Hi everyone, good morning. So quick recap. Last class we have been discussing about the loops. Loops is nothing but repeating of a statement till the condition is succeed. Is called as a loop. So in the loop we have seen do while. We have seen the do while with the example, right? So first do while, first it will do the action, then it will check the condition. It is a reactive. And also we have seen the while. While is basically the proactive. First it will check the condition, then it will execute the logic. And also we have seen for. For there are three types are there. For primitive data type, for collection data type, for SOQL. So for we have seen with the examples primitive data type, and we have seen example with the collection data type. So today we are going to talk about for SOQL, right? Before going to for SOQL, let's understand what is SOQL. Let's understand what is SOQL. SOQL is full definition of this is Salesforce object query language, right? SOQL is nothing but Salesforce object query language. Why do we use this SOQL? What is the purpose of this SOQL? SOQL is to build in query string used to retrieve the data from Salesforce. What is the SOQL? Why do we use it? SOQL is nothing but Salesforce object query language. Why do we use it? For example, in the Salesforce, I have some 29 items are there here. Okay, I wanted to pull these records. So for what we have seen, creating an account, creating a record, inserting a record, that's what we have seen, right? But we have not seen how to pull the records that are already exist inside the account or some different object. The object already have the record. I wanted to pull this record to my programming or to the Apex, wherever I code it. How do we get the object record existing records from the database, right? From the database, in order to pull the records, we use the SOQL. SOQL is basically query to retrieve the data from Salesforce. Data in a sense, it could be any object. Any object record data. What is the usage of this? The first one. In the query string, parameter in the query call. So we have a query string. Query string parameter. In the query call. And the second usage is in the Apex statement. Where do we use it? In the Apex statement. And next usage could be used in the Visualforce page. Will not directly use inside the Visualforce page, but as part of the Visualforce page, if I am pulling any record, we have to call definitely the controller, right? So in that case, we use the inside the during the Visualforce page, controller. We have a controller specifically. Okay. Next, where do we use it? In schema explorer of the force.com IDE. Right? These all places we use the SOQL. We use it in Apex, we use it in Visualforce Page Controller, we use it in Schema Explorer of the force.com, and we also use it in the Aura controller. Aura method controller or Aura method or Aura controller. Right? Basically wherever I wanted to get the record from the Salesforce database, whether it could be Visualforce Page or whether it could be Aura, whether it could be LWC, or it could be normal Apex or batch class, asynchronous class, whatever it might be. Wherever I wanted to get the records from the Salesforce database, we use it SOQL. SOQL is the one which is going to get me the details. Now, how to write this syntax? This is very important. This could be one of the interview question for the freshers. Okay, what is the syntax that we write for the SOQL in order to get? We always start writing the SOQL with the keyword called select. Select. And what we use? Select field names. What field names? API field names. Like if you go to the Salesforce, right? If you go to the object manager setup, I already have object manager. Let's go to the account, field and relationship. The API fields, these are the API fields, right? So those are the API fields we have to add. Select API field name from which table? So table name. Table name is also API table name. Select field names from table name. That means which object that I wanted to pull the data, and in that object, which are the fields that I'm mostly interested in. Those are the field names we will give here, right? So moving on, we also have a where condition. Where you have to give the condition. We have to give the condition. What is the condition? Could be name equal to Samskar ID, or salary greater than 10,000 or 10K, right? Any condition. Also, we can have a with. With is a keyword. This is for filtration. Filtration, right? And we also have a group by. If group by field names, API field name. When we use the group by, we have to use the having. So whatever I'm writing in the capital, these are the hard-coded syntax, right? Everybody might be aware of SQL. They are aware of the SQL, right? SQL, how you write it, select star from, and you will give the table name, right? So same thing here, same commands we use it, whatever we have in the SQL. So select, but instead of star, you use it API field name from the table where. What is the condition? With filtration, and group by, on group by which field. And whenever we use the group by, we have to have a condition. And next we also have a order by. Order by, we can mention the field name, or order by sorting or ascending or descending order, whatever the order. But based on the which API field we wanted to have a order, sorting order, could be ascending order or descending order, that we can define. And how many records we wanted to pull, which is limit. Limit the number of records. Number of records, right? And offset. Offset is, this is also have the number. Now these all commands, whatever we see, where, with, group by, having, order, limit, offset, everything we will use it in real time. Everything we use it in real time. What is the necessity to use these all? Because, for example, you have some 100,000 records are there, right? You have 100,000 records are there. In the account table, let's take a account table has 100,000 records are there. But do you need 100,000 records in order to implement some logic, business logic? Do you need that? No, we do not need. We need only specific records that we are only concerned about. Right? We need only specific records. We do not want all the records. So in that scenario, why do we wanted to query everything? It is a waste of time. Right? It is a waste of time. So that's the reason we can have a more filter on the whenever we querying it. Whenever we are querying it, it is better to have a more filter where I can give some condition with filtration, group by, use the, if needed, group by having, or else I wanted to get the records in the order by, I can do it, and limit offset, right? And there is also, we have a governor limits on top of this. In Salesforce, we have a governor limits. Whatever we write a query, whatever the business logic we write it, everything will have a governor limits. What is the governor limits? Governor limits is if I have to tell in the real time. For example, you are staying in the apartment, right? You are staying in the apartment. That apartment has a 14 floors, right? And there is a restriction for each house. They have to use the water like 1 hour only. They have to use it. Otherwise, it will be empty, right? If everybody use, because they have only one container is there, water tank is there, only one water tank, that is also medium size is there. If 14 floors are going to use it at the same time, it is going to be the problem, right? Maybe during the summer, we don't get the water every time. So there is a problem on that. That's the reason we have to limit using the each house. Like we can log the house, like we say that, okay, 101 right now use all the water for 1 hour. Okay, after 1 hour we lock it so that they do not get the water at all. Now next we will release it to the second floor. Next we will release it to the third floor. So like that, if we can utilize the water properly, it will be very good, so that we will not be worried about till the day end. Maybe day end we can get another water tank. So here also governor limits, why do we have? Because Salesforce sits in the cloud. It's a cloud based, right? Sales cloud, service cloud, marketing cloud, everything sits in the cloud. Right? If the cloud, if Salesforce itself is a cloud and all the organizations are using the Salesforce, if every organization uses same thing, right? I have one organization which use the SOQL query unlimited. They do not have any restrictions. If they go with like that, there is another organization which they wanted to use the SOQL also. If one organization occupies everything inside the cloud, how about other organizations? We need to have some limits, right? We need to have some Gartner limits so that everybody follows that Gartner limit, and Salesforce also can manage the data inside the database or metadata inside the cloud. They can manage it properly. So that's the reason we have a Gartner limits in Salesforce. And coming to SOQL, we have some Gartner limits saying that what are the Gartner limits on top of the SOQL is only the total number of SOQL queries issued is 100 for synchronous, 200 for asynchronous query. Only 200 records I can query if it is a asynchronous in one Apex class, right? In real time, frankly saying that we can use we maximum use only 10 queries. That's it. That 10 queries also, that is more, because we have to write SOQL query in the smartest way in real time, so that maximum in the Apex class, whatever the big class it might be, I have seen only 4 times we are using the SOQL. That's it. So if 4 is not enough, if it is a huge class like a 200, 300, 500 class is there, maximum 8 SOQL query that I have seen. Okay, I have not seen any time like 100 SOQL query issued. So in real time, so that tells us how the programmer is a best coder. So Gartner limit is total number of SOQL queries are issued. The synchronous call 100. For asynchronous, it is a 200. And total number of records retrieved by the SOQL, how many? Total. This is a query issued. Okay. Now we are retrieving the records. Total number of SOQL records retrieved by SOQL query. Retrieved by SOQL query is whether it is synchronous or asynchronous. It is going to be 50,000 records. It is going to be 50,000 records. That's the reason if you have a more records in the object, it is better to use the condition, more filterize it, so that it is easy for you when you do the coding. It is also easy for when somebody is going through the code, because they know that by filtration, they know that, okay, which records are qualified to pull the records here, right? So total records that retrieved by the SOQL query is 50,000. 50,000 is combined of all the SOQL queries. For example, if I have a 5 SOQL queries inside the one Apex class, okay? So all 5, including all 5, should reach 50,000. That is a maximum, okay? But based on the single query, if I have only single query, so single query, how much it is? Single query, it is a 2,000. Whether it is synchronous or asynchronous, single query is going to retrieve the records, 2,000 records, right? But if you have a multiple SOQL queries, that is the maximum that we can query the retrieved is 50,000 records. Clear? So that's the reason whenever we are writing SOQL, we have to be very careful what is the data that I'm going to pull it from the database. Be clarity on this SOQL. Okay. And one more tip for the day. Never use the SOQL query. Never use the SOQL query inside the loops. Never use it. We have understood the loops, right? We have gone through the loops. Do while, for loop, for primitive, for collection data type for SOQL, right? So never ever use the SOQL inside the loops. What is the reason? And this must should follow in the real time. What is the reason? Why should we not use the SOQL inside the loop? Because we are going to easily hit the Garner limits. Easily hit the Garner limits. Though you have written one SOQL query, inside the for loop, you have just written the SOQL query, only one SOQL query you have written, right? Saying that account A equal to select ID, comma, name from account where name equal to or name like Dell, right? I have written only one SOQL query, but inside the for loop, if I am looping through this for loop for 50,000 times, what will happen? Though you have written only one time, but every time the query going to execute inside the for loop, which ultimately you are hitting the Garner limits. So that's the reason never ever use the SOQL query inside the loops. If you want to do this, take out this from the for loop and do it outside this. Store it in the collection data type. We have gone through the collections, right? Store it in the collection data type and use that collection data type inside the for loop, which is easy for tracking. Okay, we'll learn those things for going up. Okay, now let's go ahead and see how to use the query string parameter in the query call. Let's go ahead and see. Let me open the developer console. Okay, so for testing the query, what is the result it is getting? For testing the query, what are the things that I am getting it? We have here query editor. It's a fourth tab, logs, tests, checkpoints, and query editor. Click on that query editor. Query editor it's kind of a where you can write single query and see what is the output you are getting it. You can write a single query and see what are the output you are getting. So let me write the same one, select ID, comma, name, comma, phone number. We have all those fields in the account, right? These are the API fields, comma, industry from account. Let's query it. If you are running a query here, it doesn't hit any Garner limits. Governor limits only applies only when you are implementing a Apex class. Right? When you are implementing a class, when you are implementing a Apex class, that time only Garner limits are going to hit. But if you are writing, executing some query here, it doesn't, Garner limits does not hit here. Right. So right now I have 40 records, right? Let's say inside these 40 records, I wanted to get industry equal to energy. Only those records I want. So what I can do is that industry equal to energy, right? And let me add another field called rating. Now query this, how many are there? Only 4 records. You will get the total count here. Only the 4 records I got it. Instead of 40 records, I got only 4. This is much easy for me to go through the each data. Like if you have a 40 records, for example, some data is not correct inside the 40 records. If you have to analyze or debug, you have to go through all of the 40 records. Is it necessary? No, right? If you know what are the specific records that has a common value, so identify that common value and put it in the where condition. Okay. And in case if I add here, instead of rating, instead of industry, let me add rating equal to hot executed. See, I got a 7 records. I got a 7 records, and where the industry is, some of them are blank and some of them have the value. Right? So we also have a first name and last name here, right? First name, comma, last name. First name, comma, last name. Execute it. First name is not there. Okay, so see here. When I say first name, in case if the API field is not there, then it is going to throw me error at the bottom. It is going to show me error in the bottom. No such column first name on the entity account. Okay, that's good. So that means this field is not there. Now let me go ahead and execute it. Now it is saying that last name is also not there. Okay, that's good. So that means we do not have the first name and last name. Now click on this execute. Yes, it is perfect. It is working fine, right? And next, can I get the inner query? Like, do we have an inner query? Like, for example, for each account, you all know the relationship, right? Master, detail, relationship, lookup, relationship, junction object, right? You know all of this. For each account, we'll have a some contact for that. Like if I open any this, okay. If I open this account, if I go to the related, like there are two contacts are there. There are two contacts are there. There are two contacts are there, right? If I wanted to get contacts within this particular account, or simply I wanted to get contacts where this particular account is equal to this. So this is a 18-digit ID. Okay, you might be aware this is a 18-digit ID. Every record will have the unique ID. So whenever you say ID is nothing but you have to pick it up from the URL. You have to pick it up from the URL. Okay. So in that case, how to write? How to get the contact records? How to get the contact records for this particular account? Now contact, if I go to the contact, if I open the contact, let me open the contact. Contact will have the account ID, right? Account lookup will be there. Go to the details, you will see account lookup, right? Here it says string, but it is actually account ID, because ID always, if I hover it, it is going to show me the entire details, or if I click on that, it is going to open the account. So it is showing the text format. It doesn't mean that account name is text. No, it is a lookup relations. If you wanted to query this particular one, you have to always use account ID instead of account. You have to use the account ID. Now let me go ahead where ID, right? Where ID in select again. I'm querying inside. Okay, I'm doing another query here where ID in select what I want, account ID from contact, right? Let me get this. Right now I'm doing it for all the accounts. I'm doing it. Okay. Now So right now what we did, we are just printing the account records, only the one that has a contact information, only the one that has a contact information. Because if I open any other account, let me open this Dell Technologies. This does not have any contact, right? So it did not pull me that particular Dell here. I am pulling only the accounts that has a contact, right? So there are 13 records like that. And let's suppose you wanted to just know the count of the records. You do not wanted to see any like this ID, name, phone number, fax, industry, rating. You do not want to see all of this. You just wanted to know the count. That's it. I'm not interested on the data. So what we can do, for example, select count of ID from, let me take the opportunity. Execute it. That's it. Count, I got it. I'm only interested in count. I'm not interested in data. So in that case, we can simply use count of ID from opportunity, right? This is giving all the opportunity details. But if I'm interested only where stage name equal to closed on. Okay, now I'm interested how many are closed out of these opportunities. I just need a count. 18 records, right? 18 records. Out of 34, 18 record stages are closed on. 18 records are stage equal to closed on. Let's see if I can print those. No, it doesn't give me. Aggregate. Okay, so direct query, you cannot do that. This is only for simply getting the count of ID. That's all. Now let me go ahead and write it. Where are we writing? We are not writing the code in the Apex, right? We are just playing with the code. So where are we going it? We are going in anonymous window. Till now, what are the classes we are done? We are just testing our code, right? Now, how to do that? Now let's go ahead and see first SOQL. Now we understood SOQL, right? Let's go ahead and see how to write for SOQL. How to write SOQL. For SOQL data type. Okay. So first of all, in order to do the for loop, okay, when we say SOQL, SOQL is related to Salesforce object, right? This is related to Salesforce object. On the Salesforce object, I am going to loop it. If I have to loop, I need to have some more than one record I need to have, right? If I take only one record, it is not possible. So in order to capture the more than one records, we always have to use the collection data type. So list is the one of the collection data type. Out of 3, set, list, map, we are using the list. It is always, in case it is always good to use the list if you are querying the Salesforce object, because list will hold entire data, whether it is duplicate, multiple times, everything will hold in the list. So list is the right one to use the collection data type if you are querying the Salesforce object. Inside the list, what we have to use? We have to use the Salesforce object name, Salesforce object API name, right? So let's say account, right? And let's initialize the variable AC equal to, now let's go ahead and write the query. Select ID, comma name, comma phone number, comma fax, We have used all of this industry, rating, right? From account. I'm not putting any condition right now. I just wanted to show how this is going to look like. So I have written a simple query. Simple query, no conditions, no filtering, no group by, no order, no limit. Simple query. Select field names from object table name, right? Let me show you how this looks like. So in order to print this, what we use system.debug, right? Variable name is AC. Now let me print this and see how it is going to look like. Highlight this, click on execute highlighted. Line 5 is missing. What are we missing? List A. Rating from account. Unexpected token. Select, spelling mistake. Okay. Highlight, execute this. Check the debug. See, what is the data that I got? Let me copy this. We get the output in the JSON format. In Salesforce, every time whenever we get the output, we always get it in the JSON format. Okay. So let me take out this. So here it is, ID, you have the first record. Total, how many records are there when we run the query? 40 records it gave, okay? Debug log does not give you the entire information. Whatever you see here, it does not give the information because these logs are coming in the developer console. If you want full length of debug logs, you have to put a debug on your name. Okay, how to do that? We will see that in going further. For now, let's observe what is the data that is it pulled. Okay, so first account, it pulled till this ID. Again, I have the ID, right? And then again, I have the ID. So these are the account information. First ID, second ID, first ID, right? Second ID, and then another account ID, phone number, fax, another account ID, phone number, another account ID, phone number, another account ID, phone number. So it gave me only till some 4 or 5 records it gives because developer console does not give the full length of list. So it is pulling me the all the information. That's good. Now I have the complete list of 40 records in my hand. I have 40 records inside this variable, this container. AC container is storing the 40 records. AC container is storing the 40 records. Right? Now, let me loop through these 40 records. How to loop through this? For, right? This is how the skeleton structure, right? What is the container that I wanted to loop? AC, right? Colon AC. And what is the data type it has? It has account. So before the colon, I have to put the data type and give some variable name here. Perfect. Now A. So let me print system.debug here. Let me print A.name. A means it is referring to the AC container. Where is the AC container? Here it is. Okay, from the AC container, these are the fields that I can access in the for loop. These are the fields that I can access in the for loop. So I can either use the a.name, a.phone number, a.fax, a.industry. I can use anything. So now let me go ahead and see this. Highlight, execute the highlighted one. Debug. See here, 40 records it printed, right? It is looping through the each record. First it came Melissa, then it came LWC account, then it came it is LWC account, then it is a test. Then after that, what we have? Microsoft, right? So it will go through the each account, whatever the query is retrieving the data, whatever this query is retrieving the data. I'm storing everything in the container AC or variable AC, and this AC has an entire list. And I can use this AC anywhere in my program. For now, in the for SOQL, I have looped for loop. Which data type? Account data type. What I'm looping? This particular, whatever it is retrieved, that particular container I'm looping here, right? Then I'm printing that name. Now, for example, okay, for example, let me get only the records that I need. Here I have a Dell technology, right? Let me copy this. Some around 10 records or 11 records we have Dell technology. Okay, so I wanted to pull only those where name equal to Dell technology, where name equal to, sorry, Dell technology. Now how many I am getting it? Execute it. Okay, 11 records I am getting it, right? 11 records I am getting it. Let's assume if I wanted to change these 11 records. Assume that I wanted to change name from Dell technology to Amazon. Dell technology to the Amazon. I wanted to change all these names. Whatever the account name I have, I wanted to change from the Dell technology to Amazon. And whatever the phone number I have, 1111, I wanted to change it to some 912345. Okay, how can I update it? Okay, now I have the complete information inside this loop, right? If I wanted to change a dot, I wanted to change a dot name equal to name I wanted to change, right? From Dell technology to Amazon, I wanted to change. Amazon, I wanted to change. A dot name equal to Amazon. And then I wanted to change a dot phone number. A dot phone equal to, let's say 912345 No. Okay, I have updated the name and phone. No, now I have changed it, but it is not yet going to commit it. If I run this, it will not commit. Highlight this, execute it. Debug. Refresh. It did not change because I have not committed yet this to my database. I have not committed this. In order to commit this, I have to use DML. I have to use update A. Okay. Update A, we have to use it. Right? Right now, I'm showing the DML operation inside the for loop. This is just for your understanding, but this is not a best practice. This is just for understanding, I'm showing it, but this is not a best practice. I'm going to show you how to do the update within the for loop. Okay, just for your understanding, I have written the update A. Now let me execute this, highlight this part, click on execute highlighted. Now let's go ahead and refresh. See, it changed everything. It changed everything. Amazon and phone number, it changed. Right? If you want to delete it, you can delete it. Simply you can write the DML delete A. Delete A, which is going to delete all the records. You need not write this. If you wanted to delete all the records that have a del, you wanted to delete all the records that have a del. How many are there del? Let's go ahead and execute this. How do you execute this query? Go to the query editor, execute, enter in the query edit. Okay, I got only one record. I got only one record. For example, I wanted to delete the record, the account record that has the name equal to del. Simply highlight this, right here, DML command delete, and click on execute highlighted. Now it deleted it. How do I know whether it is deleted or not? You have ran the query, right? Before it gave the one record. Now just go ahead and click on refresh grid. When you click on a refresh grid, it deleted. You cannot see, if you execute it also, you cannot see the record because we have deleted it. We have deleted it. Now coming to why I said not to write here, the DML commands here inside the for loop. Not to write the DML commands inside the for loop because it is not a best practice to write a DML inside the for loop. And coming to this, there is another Garner limit on the DML. On the DML, another Garner limit is total number of DML statement issued is 150. Only 150 DMLs we can do it. And if you do it inside the for loop, it is going to hit the Garner limits. So it's not a best practice to do the DML here. It has to be always outside the for loop. But how to do that, I'll tell you later. After a couple of few topics, we will talk about that. Okay, any questions before I move on? Any questions on, sorry? Any questions on for SOQL or SOQL syntax, Garner limits, tip? And one more tip is never ever use DML inside the for loop. Okay. Any questions so far before I move on to the next topic?
Yes, Swapna, if we want to retrieve the more than 50,000 records, how we can retrieve?
We can do that. We have to tweak into the code. Okay, if you wanted to retrieve more than 50,000, where it comes to the batch class, that is more, it is more further classes. Right now, it is not good to explain because there are few members who are still learning it. So there is a different ways we can do the query. Okay, batch class is there, asynchronous is there. We can have multiple ways we can tweak into the code in order to get more than 50,000.
Okay.
Okay, next topic is DML. Next topic is DML. We'll talk more about DML right now because this is very important. Where to use, how to use it, when to use it. We will see that. What is the DML? DML is nothing but data manipulation language. Data manipulation language. That means I'm going to manipulate the data. Either I'll insert, update, delete, modify, or anything. I'm going to manipulate the data. Please note down the definition. DML, Apex program, right? Because we use mostly into the Apex program, DML. Apex program that enables developer Apex program that enables developer to perform CRUD operation. To perform CRUD operations. What is CRUD means? Create, retrieve, create, retrieve, and U means update, delete. So basically, this is an Apex program that enables developer to perform a CRUD operation during the runtime or while executing the code. Right? So basically, if you have to write in the program, what are the things you use it? You use the insert, which is nothing but a create, right? Which is nothing but a create, update, delete, or we have a something called restore data into the database. We will see that how to do that. We will see, don't worry. Okay. Insert, update, delete, these all things we do it while writing the program. Either I create a record, or I will update a record, or I'll delete a record, or I'll retrieve a record, right? I'll retrieve the existing record into the program. So which is called as a DML. So CRUD operation means playing with the data. Playing with the data. Either you want to update a data, either you wanted to delete a data, either you want to insert a data, or you wanted to merge the data. Right? You are going to play with the data. Salesforce data, you are going to play with that. Right? In order to do this, there are two ways we have to do. There are two types of DML statement. Two types of DML statements. One is atomic DML. One is atomic DML, and second one is non-atomic DML. Second one is non-atomic DML. Right? What is atomic DML means? Atomic DML is simple, straightforward DML statements. Right? What is that means? Insert, it's a straightforward. Insert, update, right? Upsert, delete, undelete, and merge. When it comes to the non-atomic means what? Non-atomic DML means which we are going to use the DMLs with the predefined Salesforce class. With the predefined Salesforce class. What is the predefined Salesforce class? Is called as database class. Database class methods. Database dot database class methods. What are the database class method means? Database dot insert. If you wanted to insert, you have to use the class database dot insert method, right? If you wanted to update, then you have to use database dot update method. These are predefined Salesforce. These are predefined Salesforce. Geeta, can you switch off your video? Upsert. If you wanted to use the upsert, you have to use the database dot upsert. You have to use the database dot upsert. In case if you wanted to use the delete, you have to use the database class name dot delete method, right? Same thing for undelete also. Database dot undelete method. For merge, you have to use the database dot merge. Fine. So atomic means standard DML, like any programming you go, whether C, C++, Java, any programming you go, there will be having a insert, update, upsert, delete, undelete, merge. This is a standard straightforward. But non-atomic DML means Salesforce has provided some class. Inside this class, we have a methods, right? Which will take care of inserting, updating, upsert, delete, undelete, merge. Okay. So in real time, this is the one we use it. In real time, non-atomic DML is mostly used. I don't say that this is not used. Atomic DML also used. Atomic DML also we use it. But it's based on the scenario when to use atomic DML, when to use non-atomic DML. Okay. Let's go ahead and see with the examples. Now, let's go. So what are we doing it? DML. DML. Okay. So DML, first we will see with the, like whatever the atomic DML is there, we will see that. Okay. So let's take the S object. Account, single record we are doing. Account A equal to new account. I'm initializing the single account. Because let me go ahead and create, or let me create a new record. So in order to create a new record, I need name. Let's say that DML technology. DML technology or a.phone. A.phone equal to, let's say 1111. A.fax equal to 111. So what we are doing the atomic DML. Atomic means insert. I'm creating a new record inside the account. In order to create a new record from the programming, what are the steps we have to do? We already discussed this. First thing, we have to initialize the table. And once we are initialized, that means we have the container ready inside the database. Inside the container, I have to place whatever the mandatory information is there, name, phone number, fax, or industry rating, whatever is there, we can put that. A.rating equal to hot, something, whatever we need the fields to be updated, we can give that. So what we are doing right now here, the DML statement, we are inserting the record. We are inserting the record. Let me see this. Let me execute. Highlight, click on execute the highlighted one. Fine, it executed. Let me go to the Salesforce. Refresh. There should be a DML technology. One record should be created inside the account object. See here, DML, right? It created the DML record. Because we just created only one record, right? Now, this is the insert. Let's say I wanted to change, after inserting, I wanted to change the name. I wanted to change the name. DML technologies to change DML technology. Now I wanted to, once I change it, I have to use the DML update key. So how many steps I'm doing here? 2 DMLs I'm using it. One is insert. I'm creating a record. And next, another DML is I'm updating a record. Right? I'm updating a record with the change DML technology. Let me execute this. Execute the highlighted one. Okay. Refresh the Salesforce. See here. What it happened? You have a previous one and right now. What happened right now? Right? It is showing me the change DML. Right? First, it inserted with the DML. Right? It inserted with the DML. Then it changed name and then it is updated. Okay, let me show you more clearly how the logic works. Like after the insert, I'll put a system dot debug. I only wanted to know the a dot name. A dot name. Right? And once after update, print again the a dot name. Right now I'm updating DML. I'm inserting with the DML technology too. And updating change DML technology too. Let me go ahead and execute this highlighted one. See, first it is a DML. It is inserted with the DML technology and it changed DML technology. Now let me go ahead. See this. See here. Right? Details. What are the data that I have here? I just have an account name, phone, fax. That's it. I do not have any other information. I do not have any other information. Let me switch this to classic for a second. Open the change DML technology too. Right. Okay. Let me add history here. You all know the page layout, right? Account layout. Related list. I need a history. Activity history. Okay, it does not have that. Okay, that's fine. So that's what it happened. Okay, so first it is inserted with the DML technology too, And then we have changed the name, change DML technology to. And after changing it, we did DML operation update A. Now after updating A, okay, after updating A, I wanted to just simply delete this. Okay, assuming that I created a DML technology 3, I have inserted the record and then I have updated the record with the change DML technology 3.3. And after updating that this one, I realized that okay, by mistakenly I have created it. By mistakenly I have created this record. So simply go ahead and delete that record. Now execute this highlighted one. Right, it is inserted with 3, change DML technology 3.3. But will I find that? Let me switch back to the Lightning. Okay, did I find the change DML technology 3.3 here? No, I could not see because I deleted it. After updating it, I deleted. So I could not see change DML technology 3.3. Let me go ahead and see whether it sits in the recycle bin or not. See here, it is sitting in the changed. Yeah.
Yes, after deleting, we have to again insert the new list.
After deleting, can you repeat that? After deleting?
We have to create again a new list for account.
No, after deleting, you need not to do anything. So what you are saying is, here by mistakenly I created the record. Okay. By mistakenly I created the record. So I just wanted to delete it. For deleting, I have to give the container name, delete the container name. So once I am done with the delete, I'll not find anything. If you put the debug also, it will say null because it doesn't sit in the database. It doesn't sit in the database.
My question is a dot name. Will you have to create again a dot name?
Your voice is not clear. Can you repeat that?
We have to create a dot name again.
No, you will not be having. No, you need not to create a dot name. Why? Because after deleting, A will not be there.
Okay. Now I understand.
Right? After deleting it, you will not be there. See, simple example. At home, you have a bag. Okay. You kept something, some important things or something, you kept it in that bag. Okay. So once you feel that, okay, this bag is not required. So what you will do, you will throw it in the dustbin. So whatever is available inside that bag, you will not be having at home, where it will be in the dustbin. So if you have to find again that bag, then you have to go to the dustbin, open that bag and check all the things, whatever is needed. Right? So
means
same thing.
Here undelete operation cannot be possible.
It's possible. I'll show that. It's possible. I'll show that. Okay, so let's talk about the delete. So once we delete it, the record will not be seen in the account object. The record will not be seen in the account object. Where it will be in your recycle bin. Like simple, in your desktop, if you have deleted the file, right? There is a WordPad or Microsoft Excel you have. So you have deleted it. When you delete in your laptop, where it will go to the recycle bin, right? Same thing in the Salesforce. When you delete it, it sits in the recycle bin for some time. For some time it will sit and automatically that Salesforce will clear it up. Now, once we delete it, if I wanted to again take back, if I wanted to do the undelete, you can do that. So we have an option called undelete. Now you deleted it and again you have undeleted it. Let me change this DML technology for DML technology 4444. Right? Highlight this, execute it. Go to the accounts. See, you will see. It won't be in recycle bin. It won't be in recycle bin because you deleted it. Again, you undeleted it. Right? It came back to the as usual place. It came back to the as usual place in the same record. So that's about the insert, update, delete, undelete. Upsert is the combination of insert and update. Insert and update, we use the upset. Where do we use the upset? Tip. Upset is mostly used in real time. Upset is used mostly in the data loading or in the batch class. This will come later. Do not worry, whoever does not know the batch class, it will come later. So upset will be used during the data load. When I say data loading means now using the external tool. Using the external tool. There is a tool which sits in your desktop. Okay. You wanted to push 1,000 records at a time from your desktop to the Salesforce. Assume that your desktop is an external system. You have 1,000 records which are sitting in the system, right? You wanted to push all the 1,000 records from the local system to the Salesforce, where it called as a data loading. We'll come to that later. So we use the upset mostly into the data load and batch classes. Now, we are clear with the atomic DML. That's clear. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see non-atomic. How to use the non-atomic. I'll take simple example for non-atomic. Non-atomic DML. Right? So first what I'll do is I'll declare the collection data type. List of account ACC equal to new list of account. I'm initializing it. That means the container is getting created for the account list collection data type. The container is getting created at the backend. Now keep this aside. Now let's go ahead and insert 4 account records. Okay. The way we have inserted here is first we have initialized it. Then we use the a.name, a.phone, a.fax, right? There is other way also we can do it. Account a equal to new account. That's what we did on top, right? Instead of doing again in the next line, I can do same thing inside this bracket. Name equal to first tech, right? Comma, phone equal to 1111. In simple one line, I can initialize, I can create a record. Fax equal to 999. Right? Let me take another variable, industry. Another field, industry equal to banking. Fine. So let me use, this is the A1 record. Let me create another 3 records. This is a A2, A3, A4. And this is the first tech, second tech, third tech, fourth tech. Okay. Now, here what we did, we are inserting the each record. That means I have to write a DML statement 4 times. Like insert A1, insert A2, insert A3, insert A4. If I write my DML statement 4 times, though it is doing the same thing, I'm inserting the same object, right? I'm inserting the same object records, I'm doing it. But why am I wasting the lines here, which is going to hit the Garner limits probably? I'm repeating the same thing, right? Insert, 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 insert. So instead of that, what I can do is I have a collection here. I have a collection container here. What I can do is simply I can use that container dot add. I'll put all the record inside the A1. I'll put all the record inside the A1. So that what will happen? I need not to multiple times, I need not to write DML statement. Now what happened? Now everything is sitting in this collection data type. Everything sitting in the collection data type. Now what I can do, simply insert ACC. I can write this, right? Only using the one DML statement, I can insert all 4 records, right? So basically what I'm doing here, let me open the paint. So I'm creating the 4 records, A1, A2, A3, A4, right? And I have a big box here. Big collection box is there. So what I'm trying to put, everything I'm trying to put it here. Because all these 4s are doing the same object. These are related to same object. So I'll put everything in this box so that at one time, I can hit this box. At one time, I can hit this box. So that what will happen, it will go and verify what are the records are there. And it will insert everything, right? Now let me execute this. Let me execute the highlighted one. Now this is going to insert first tech, second tech, third tech, fourth tech. Right? First, second, third, fourth, it inserted. Now back to the here. Now when we go to the non-atomic, let's assume that I have A1, A2, A3, A4, perfectly fine. All the data is correct. So that's the reason when I insert ACC, everything is working fine. But let's assume that A4 does not have. A4 does not have the name. Name is the mandatory field, right? When you go to the account, you will see account name is mandatory. Without account name, if you enter the fax or phone number, whatever you enter, it says that name is mandatory. First complete that field. Now let's assume that A4 does not have the name. A4 does not have the name. So when we insert, what will happen? When we insert, what will happen? Let me execute this. Let's write here one tech, second, third. Okay. Let me go ahead and insert this. Execute the highlighted one. See, it is going to throw an error. saying that required field is missing. Required field is missing here. But A1, A2, A3 says that we are good. I have a name, phone number, everything. I have it, mandatory fields, whatever is required. I have this. So why can't you insert A1, A2, A3? And which are the error is there? Why can't you throw an error for that particular account? Why are you throwing an error for all the ones? It did not insert any of them. If you go to the account, let's go ahead and refresh. Right? It did not insert anything here. Because one record has a problem throwing an error for everybody. Like if you have 1,000 records, you are inserting it. Because the second error, only second error has the error, none of them are going to insert it. None of them are going to insert it. How to overcome this? In order to overcome this, we have to go with the non-atomic DML. Okay, so here we'll say database class, database dot insert. Insert is the method. Insert is the method. Inside this method, we have to pass the database dot insert. Inside this insert method, we have to pass the collection data type. Collection data type, because this class and this method is going to handle only the multiple records, only the collection data types. Only the collection data type it is going to handle. We cannot give the single record. So what we have to give? We have to give the collection data type inside this database dot insert. Database dot insert and giving the ACC. Now let me go ahead and execute it. Still, I do not have the mandatory field in the account 4. Okay, I'm going to execute this. It says that, okay, it is also giving the error. But what did it happen? What did it happen? It did not inserted it. It did not inserted it. Okay, Swapna, you said that non-atomic, you can insert all these three things, right? If there is any error, you can stop there. But why you did not insert it when you use the database.insert? I'll tell you the reason. When you insert, because this is the insert method, right? Database.insert. Okay. Database.insert has these many methods are there. Right? These many methods are there. So if you wanted to execute the one which are good and leave which are having the error, leave that record and execute the rest of the records. So how do you give that ACC comma? You have to give the one option. This is where we call it either true or false. If you do not give anything here, by default, it will take true. By default, it will take true. That means whether you say insert ACC or whether you say database.insert ACC or whether you say database.insert ACC comma true. True means do not execute anything, do not insert anything if you find any error in the list. If you find any error in the list, do not insert anything. These three are same. But if you wanted to execute, okay, there is a problem, I understand it, but others are fine, right? Go ahead and execute those. So say false. And let me execute this. execute the highlighted one. Again, debug, it is executed. See, first, second, third, it executed. Which one is having the problem? A4 is having the problem. 1, 2, 3 executed fine. 1, 2, 3. And fourth one, anyway, it left. Because you said that, that's okay. Programmer said, developer said, okay, fine. Ignore the one which are not having the any record mandatory information. Please ignore it. Developer says that false. But if developer says true, that means I'm very strict. Any record does not have any mandatory information, do not execute anything. I'm too strict. So I'll say true. But if you say false, that means ignore it. Same thing for other non-atomic DML. Update, upsert, delete, undelete, merge, everything is same. Okay, so if you wanted to ignore the one, just say false here. And if you give database dot insert, see there are multiple options are there. Only one parameter. You have only one parameter. And say two parameters are there. One is collection, and you have to say the option, whether it is true or false. Sorry, DML options, these are DML options. And the one which we have used is here. Right, also we have a simple S object. Simple S object, that means only one S object. And asynchronously also I can process the collection data collection and as well as the simple one. But in real time, we mostly use the collection. We mostly use the collection because inserting single one by one, it doesn't mean anything. You have to use the collection data type. Collection data type, that is also list. You have to use the list. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Moving on to the next one. Moving on to the next one is called exceptional statement. Exceptional statement. What is the exceptional statement? What is the exceptional statement? Apex statement that captures error during the destruction of normal flow of execute. Normal flow of code execution. Normal flow of code execution. And takes a corrective measurement. Takes corrective measurement is called exceptional statement. What is an exceptional statement? Apex statement that captures error during the destruction of normal flow of the code execution. Normal flow of code execution and takes the corrective measurement. What is that means? Can you be more clear on that? Sure. Let me give you the statement skeleton structure of the exceptional statement. So basically what we are trying to do here, exceptional statement is, if it is working fine, okay, execute the code. If there is any problem, catch the problem. First try to execute the code. If it works fine, that is perfect, very good, I'm happy. But during the execution, if there is anything which is a problem, catch that problem. Catch the problem. Where are we capturing it? Exception E. This is the standard. Exception is a predefined Salesforce command exception, which will handle like what is the error, what is the message during the execution. If there is any problem during the execution of this try block, what it will do immediately, it will go to the catch block, and in the catch block, it will print what is the problem is there. It will print what is the problem. Okay, so right now we have seen one example, right? Inserting this, right? Inserting this we have seen, right? Let me use that exceptional statement here. Try and then catch. Catch, inside the catch, what is the parameter we have? Exception. Exception E. Now open, close. Now let me insert inside this. Because we have a problem here, right? Insert means I'm using the atomic DML. If anything is wrong, it is going to throw me an error. Out of 4, I have a A4 has a problem. But if it is a problem, come to the catch. Give me system.debug. System.debug. Let me put some text here. Error. Error happened. Right? And how to capture the error message? Let's print E. Let's print E. We have a different methods for the exception also. Right? We have a different method for the exception. If you wanted to know the exact error, E.getError. Let me print here. This is printing the complete E. Okay. Let me give here E.getError. E.getError. Now let me execute this. Execute the highlighted one. Get error E dot. Let me first show you the E, then we'll come to the get dot error. Execute the highlighted one. Debug. See, error happened. Insert failed. First exception on row. First error, required field is missing. Before, what was happening? When I was executing this, part, it was, as soon as I click on execute, it was throwing me. On the execution itself, it is throwing me. But here what will happen? It will try to execute it. If there is any error, it will not throw an error on the screen. It is going to capture the information, put it in the catch block. Now, if you wanted to know what are the commands, what are the methods we have, in exception class, go to the Salesforce developer. So here is the exception. So what are we trying to do? We can get the error. Get cause, get line number, get message. Let me take the get line number so that it will give me the line number. E.get line number. Now let me execute this. Execute the highlighted one. Debug. See, it gave me the 21 line. Is it 21 line? Let me copy this. Open in the Notepad++. Let me put this. Where is the 20? Yes, this is the 21 line. Right? This is the 21 line. So it is giving me the error in 21 line. Right? What are the methods we have? Get message. If I wanted to get message, I can use exact message. Okay, get message itself is written the error message. Okay, right now they have that. Okay, so instead of get error, what I can do, get message. Execute it. Debug. See, it gave me the exact error message. And it is also giving me the API name. It is also giving me the API name. Fine. Okay. So homework. Create opportunity record. Create 11 opportunity records. You can give any data, whichever the one you want. Delete the last 2 records. Okay, this everything you have to do using the program, not in the Salesforce, going to the Salesforce and creating it. No, not like this. Create it using the DML, right? Create it using the loops, creating using the for SOQL, everything you have to do. Delete the last 2 records. Out of 11, last 2 records you have to delete it. And second homework, create 3 contact records for same account. For same account, 3 contact record for same account. Out of 3, okay, out of 3, 1 record should not have the out of 3 records, 1 record should not have the mandatory information. Mandatory field should not have the mandatory fields, right? Should not have the mandatory fields. 1 record should not have the mandatory fields. So what should happen? The final output is, it should not throw me an error on the screen. It should not throw an error message on the screen. It should go in the catch. It should go in the catch. It should go in the catch. Fine. Here the first one, create.
Can you repeat once? It should go to, it should
go to the catch exception.
Okay.
Okay, creating 11 opportunity records by using the non-atomic DML. By using the non-atomic DML. Okay. Moving on to the next topic. Which is called as a locking statement. Locking statement. What is the locking statement? What is the locking statement? Apex statement that locks. Apex statement that locks a subject record. A subject record from being updated is called as a locking statement. So that means only the data participating in the statement will be locked, not all of them. So, okay, let me clearly explain what is the locking system. Okay, so for example, 3 developers are working on it. 3 developers, as per the real time, 3 developers are working on the same account object. Okay, assume that 3 developers are working on same record. If they are working on same record, like first developer is updating something, second developer is editing something on this record, third developer is modifying some data here. That means if 3 members does all together, system will get confused. System will get confused. If 3 members are talking together, I cannot understand. If 3 members are talking together, I cannot understand, right? So what system will does is, whenever whoever is the first edited this record, it is going to log the record. From the backend, Salesforce is going to log the record so that second and third developer cannot edit this record. It is going to throw an error saying that there is another system admin is working on this, so cannot edit. So Salesforce itself is going to lock it. That is Salesforce, it is doing fine. But when I'm running the SOQL query, I'm running the SOQL query because I wanted to update some data on this record. When I'm doing it, how can I lock it from the programmatically? How can I lock it from the programmatically? So in order to lock it, we use the keyword called for update. For update. For update is the keyword. For update is the keyword. Where do we use it? On the SOQL. We use it on the SOQL statement. How do I use it? We all know right now how to write the SOQL query, right? Select ID, comma name from account. Now where name equal to Amazon, right? This is what we did it. Now when I'm doing this, on top of it, I'm modifying some changes on the SOQL, right? Because I'm using this query in the for loop. And I'm updating the name Amazon to something else. So when I'm doing it, what I can do is at the end, I can use for update. I can use for update. When I say for update means, okay, some execution is happening at the back end. Hold on, do not modify this change or do not modify this record. Right? If I have to clearly say, let me take same thing. Okay. So multiple records are there on my query, whatever I'm running the query. So that's the reason I'm taking the list here. List of account ACC equal to select ID, comma name from account where name equal to Amazon for update. Right? Now I'll look through this account for what is my data type account AC. Sorry, I have to use A because ACC is already there. Variable name A and which one I wanted to look ACC. And inside this loop, what I wanted to make changes, a dot name equal to, let's say, industry. Let's say Bollywood industry. Right, now I'm updating it here. Okay, this is not best practice to write it here, right? Because there is a DML Garner limits. What I have to do in order to use this update outside, what I have to do, I have to first declare the collection data type account. Let's say this is update ACC equal to new list of account. Now there is a container is created just to hold the updated one. Now in this container, I have to add whatever the changes was made. Add A, right? Add A. Now I come out of the for loop. Now I can use that non-atomic DML database dot update. Database dot update. What I have to use? Update ACC is the list collection. Close. Now let's execute this. Execute the highlighted one. See, it updated the Bollywood industry. Right now, what is happening? It's a fraction of second, right? It's just a fraction of second. So it just took me 1 minute. 1 minute, I cannot open this record and edit. But sometimes what happens, there is some logic is running at the back end for almost more than 15 minutes or something. During that case, I do not want anybody to touch this record. So in that case, what we use, we have to log that particular record. We have to log that particular record. So that's how we use the logging statement. Clear, everybody? Any questions so far? Any questions so far? Okay, start doing this trial. Apex basic and database module. Use the S object, manipulate the record DML, write SOQL query. Yes, this is the one. Okay, this is the trial head. Okay, homework for the trial head. Complete this homework. So whatever we have discussed so far will be there in this Apex basic and database. Okay, so we are done for the day. Tomorrow we'll continue with the transactional controller. We have crossed almost 1.5 hours. Okay. Any question before I log off? Okay, then complete the homework because that is very important. So listening is one thing and practicing is the second thing, right? If these two works fine, then only we can go further. And just another update, tomorrow we have a demo class, same time 11 o'clock. In case if you are interested or any new members who wants to understand more about the Salesforce, you can join tomorrow demo class. Okay, then thank you so much.
And tomorrow there won't be the actual class, right?
Sorry, Hema.
Tomorrow we won't have a class, just have a demo class, right? Can you hear me?
Can you speak loudly?
Okay, I'm asking that tomorrow we don't have class, we just have a demo class for the
Yes,
new
yes.
joiners.
Tomorrow, no class. Only the demo class will be there. For the regular class, we'll connect on Monday. Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Demo, if you wanted to understand more about Salesforce or whoever is interested, whoever joined today the first time, if you wanted to know more about the Salesforce, we can connect tomorrow. Demo class tomorrow, 11 o'clock. Sunday, 11.
Ma'am, I have first time connected here. Hello.
Sorry?
I have been connected here first time.
Okay.
What's it about all of these classes?
Okay, this is your first time class?
Yes.
Okay, okay. So we have done almost 10 sessions so far. Those are the basic one. Okay. We are going to share the record, but if you want me to explain it, we can have another timing to meet and we can have the another sessions. But this will continue. Whatever this timing is there, like this batch will continue it. In order to cover this batch, we can give the recording sessions. And also we are planning another batch. We can start with that.
Okay. It's a paid so free.
It's a paid. So you can talk, yeah, you can talk more about admin. Right? My team will connect with you. You can talk on that. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So in case if you want the 10 session to be repeated, we can happily do that. Okay, with other batch, we are planning to start other batch. We can happily do that 10 sessions, but continue this training. Okay, continue this training. Because from now onwards, we are going to have a actual Apex classes. We are going to run it. So the basic classes will cover it anyway. Okay then.